Right here. Hello. So I had a family of four girls that we cleaned out today, and they were pretty bad cases. Like, one of the worst I've seen in a while. So I'm going to do my cleaning, my combing for prevention, because I already feel like I have one. So this is exactly what I recommend to everybody. Is if you know you were exposed to head lice, then do the combing within a day or two to avoid an infestation. We can't prevent picking one up because we never know when we're exposed, but you can prevent an infestation in your head. And so my comb is different than the ones you find in stores. This one is designed to remove both the crawlers and the eggs because it has like ridges. It has little ridges. Has little ridges on every tooth of the comb, which will pinch out the eggs as well. And so earlier when I got out of work, oh look, you see I had one. I knew I had one. And so the client that I had hundreds of them. And so this is the same thing you can do at home. Just comb and don't let it become an infestation. Just like you can prevent cavities, you can prevent head lice. And so I know I'm exposed. This is something that I have to do on a weekly basis. But because I know that the cases I had today were really, really bad, I didn't want to sleep on it. And so if I were to just drop this in the sink, because head lice have 6 claws, kind of like a crab, but they have 6 of them. So because they have those little claws, that prevents them from crawling on flat surfaces. So like a plastic bag, a trash bag, the sink here, even a plastic bowl, they cannot climb out. Right here it's crawling because it's on the wipey, so it's a different type of fabric. They're able to like pinch it. And so you can, I think this is a female because you can see that it's a little bit longer than the other adults. And it looks like it has some knits in the back. And so the clients I had today were pretty bad. Like one of them had sores on her head. And I was already itching even before I left work. Just like some people are more sensitive to mosquitoes, if you're the type of person that is sensitive to mosquitoes, then you will probably also be sensitive to head lice or allergic. You're like more allergic to them. And so this is how I recommend combing. Split the hair down the middle, just the same way that you would to comb out your tangles, and then you just comb from the part out. And especially here in Texas, it's important to develop a routine to prevent head lice because our schools do not send kids home for lice. So that means our kids are being exposed more often, and it's always better to do something for prevention than to wait until it happens. In the past, we didn't have to do that because there was a law, a specific law that said that anybody with head lice had to be sent home. That law does not exist anymore. They're not supposed to discriminate or embarrass the children. That's the reason they don't do mass head checks or anything anymore. I felt itching as soon as I got that one out. I felt relief. But it's always good. And so what I do, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'll comb from like, I start here. And then I do the next part. I don't know, to me it reminds me like when you're mowing the lawn. And then I go to the next part. And then the next part. And you just got to make sure to cover all of the areas of the head. Make sure you cover the back because that's where they love to hide because it's nice and warm. And so I'm just tapping it against my sink in case anything is stuck in between there. At work, what we do is we stick a safety pin in there to get anything that is stuck out. And so I just need to wet my tips. You have to make sure, I usually do this in the shower because you have to make sure your hair is completely wet, especially the tips. It feels very different. I do this when I work and I have extreme cases. And by extreme, I mean like, you'll see, I'm going to post the videos in a little bit here. I just was rushing to come home and do this. We worked 6 hours. It was 4 girls, 6 hours. I'm just glad we were able to do it in one visit because sometimes I worry, most of the time when I have really bad cases like that, and wait, did I answer your question? I'm sorry. I don't do it daily. I only do it when I have really bad cases or weekly. So Sundays or Mondays are usually the day that I do my combing. What was I going to say? I forgot what else I was going to say. Another way you can do this. Yeah, sometimes I do this. Most of the time I do this and I don't find anything, honestly. I would say I pick up maybe once or twice a year. It's not that often because I'm very careful. While I'm doing my work, I lint roll myself constantly. Yeah, they call it a phantom itch when you start itching because you see somebody else or you speak of head lice. When I first started my business, anytime I'd get a phone call, I would be itching my head while answering questions about my business to my clients, and now I can control that. But when I have a really bad case, I still feel like that. So I have to do this just for my peace of mind. And like right now that I actually got one. If I would have left that on there and it was a female, it would have just started laying eggs. It already looked like it had some in its back. So it was a pretty big one. And so it would have started laying eggs. After a week, they hatched. So say she would have laid like 20 eggs, and then in a week they hatch, then I would have had 40, because you have 20 eggshells and then 20 crawlers that just hatched. The eggshells do not come off, even after they hatch. The eggshell stays attached to your hair. They produce a cement-like glue, and that's what, how they stick so much to your hair. They attach it with a cement-like glue, and like they make the little egg out of that cement-like glue. And so that's the reason that a lot of the treatments don't work, because it's literally like cement. So it's like an eggshell made of cement. No matter what you throw at it, vinegar, oil, alcohol, whatever you throw at it, it's not going to get in there. You have to the only way is to get them off of the hair. They'll die by themselves. Nothing keeps them away. There's nothing that's going to make you immune to head lice. If anything, what I like to tell parents is it'll buy you some time to get them off before they lay eggs, because what that does, they're sensitive to scents. So then it makes your head less inhabitable for the lice. So they're still going to get on you and eat. If you're exposed to them and they happen to get on you, they're still going to eat, but they're not going to want to lay their eggs on you because of the scent. And, you know, eventually the scent will fade just like any perfume. So, I think I pressed something with the water. And so eventually the scent will fade and they're still going to lay their eggs on you. But I like to tell people it just buys you some time. It's just like cavity protection, teeth whitening stuff. Nothing beats brushing your teeth. You can do all of that stuff as an added measure, but nothing beats brushing your teeth. And it's the same thing with head lice. Nothing beats combing them out. Like right now, it didn't matter what I had on my hair. Like there was so many lice that I was bound to pick something up. So it didn't matter. I had my hair in a braid, pulled up, in a braid, in a bun, and I still got these. When I stopped to put gas, I felt something, and I found a little tiny baby. And I was like, oh, God. And that's because I lint rolled myself, like everything. I even picked up my shirt, lint rolled my back, everything. Oh my God, yes. Right now I'm doing 25% off. And for the summer until the end of the month. So usually my prices are from $75 to $200. Right now they are the most you would pay is $150. And Shy works with me, so that's why she knows. She knows. And that's the thing, that like nothing is going to be 100%. The best thing is to get in the habit of doing this if you have school-age kids, or if you work or live around school-age kids. I have a lot of clients that will get it like from their siblings, or their boyfriend's siblings, or their friends' siblings. Like it just takes exposure. It's just like COVID. People tell me if I see more in the summer, more in the winter, but no. Yes, let her know. But it's really like COVID. Anytime that there's reason for people to gather, we see more cases. Yes, I'm picking lice out of my hair. I work around head lice, so I'm doing this as prevention. And so I got one. And it's this, my comb, you can get it on my website. Let me see if I can put it. Shy, can you put my website? And this one, like I said, is different because it gets the eggs, it gets the bigger ones. It doesn't just get the crawlers, it gets the eggs as well. I know I need to comb it back. I can't find my brush. I have to use this one, and it's not the same. And so another way that you can do the combing, aside from when you split it down the middle, this is another one. Just the same way. Oh yeah, it's the link in my bio. But type it right here. Did you type it? So I can pin it. Can you type my website so that I can pin the comment? And so the same way that you would slick your hair back into your hand for a ponytail, and this is how you would do it on your kids. So it's like, imagine you're combing their hair into a ponytail, but you're using this comb to slick it back. And you got to make sure you get the sideburns all around the ears, and you just do this from front to back. And by holding it here, you would actually like comb it all the way through. By holding it here, it's going to prevent you pulling on your kid's hair on the way out. See, my hair's pretty thick, so it's hard for me to comb it by myself all the way back. That's the reason we teach the splitting it down the middle method, because this is easiest when you're doing it for yourself. This is how we do it on ourselves. Just because, and I always tell parents, if your child can detangle their own hair, they can do their weekly combing too in the shower. And you'd be surprised, we get some kids that are so tired of having them. Shy, tell your brother that I'm on live. Trying to see if I can, will it let me? Oh yeah, there it is. That's my website where you can order it. And the other product that I have is my pomade. I don't know if I have any in here. Baby, yeah. Can you bring me my pomade? I think there's one there. And so, oh, thank you. And so just the same way, and so this one is for prevention. Like I said, anything that you do for prevention is just an added step. Nothing is going to make you immune to head lice. You just got to make sure you cover all of the areas of the head from the part out. Gotta find the part. And these back parts are really important because that's where they like to hide. I'm gonna pull out my hair. But honestly, it doesn't hurt. As long as you get mine or this quality. Because there's some knockoffs on Amazon. Like $5-6. That's not like my comb. Those actually hurt. And these edges are not as rounded. So they scratch more. Another thing, if you're ever trying to do the combing on dry hair, don't. It's never going to work. You're not... you're going to traumatize your poor child. It always has to be on super wet hair. I normally would have done this in the shower, but I wanted to go on live and show you guys. Really, mine looked like a female. And I'm still like thinking about our clients because it was some pretty bad cases, and it was like, you know, we have certain requirements that I ask these clients, my clients to do before coming in preparation for the appointment. And, you know, these, like, shower, have the hair. And so, yeah, I think I'm done. So when you're doing it for prevention, it's literally like 5 to 10 minutes of your time, depending on the thickness of the hair, and if you're finding anything. But when you're doing it for prevention, it's just a quick 5 to 10 minutes of your time per head, and you can... Ow! Okay, I think I'm done. And so yeah, normally, oh my god, normally we would, I've seen those jokes. Normally we would, with a safety pin or something, get everything out from in between, but, I wasn't like infested or I wasn't like infested or anything, so I think I'm done. Yeah, all of this is just hair that is stuck in between the teeth of the comb. But yeah, if anybody is dealing with an infestation, or you would just like to prepare yourself for the school year, or if you're a new teacher, you're going to be around kids, then you can order on my bio. The difference between my comb and like the right now. Yeah. Okay, guys. But yeah, if you would like to prepare yourself, because you know it's always better to do something for prevention than to wait till it happens. You know, now the schools are only, well, here in Texas, they're only required to send you a note to let you know somebody in the classroom had them. That still doesn't make them send whoever had them home, so they continue to spread. But yeah. Well, that's what I was saying, is that nothing makes you immune. So anything that you put on is just going to be an added step. Just like brushing your teeth to prevent cavities, when you're combing to prevent head lice, anything else that you do would be in addition to and not to replace the combing. So if you're going to put tea tree oil, still do the combing. I do not recommend putting oil before you do the combing. What we have seen, and I specifically asked my clients, not to come in with any oil in their hair, because what we see is that it makes it more slippery, so then you get out even less. You're not going to get out, the combing will not be as effective because the comb is going to slide through. Yeah, I think I'm just paranoid now. Okay. I'm done. If anybody would like to order my comb, you can do so. The link in my bio. If you are in the Rio Grande Valley and you would like to set up an appointment, you can message me on Facebook. Have a good night, everybody. Bye. I forgot how to turn this off.